Okay, today we're going to make pasties. There's a bit of pork and beef, which is 50-50 ground beef, and I'm going to chop up all these veggies, some spring onion, some parsnip, carrots, potatoes, an onion, and this is some of that home done dried thyme, so a bit of that's going in there as well. So they're all going to be chopped up real fine, those veggies, cooked with the meat, and then wrapped in puff pastry into pasties. If you've never done pasties before, have a go. It's quite simple and they're delicious. Now you can put whatever you like in them. That's what I'm putting in today. So let's get started chopping these veggies real fine. I've nearly finished cutting up all the veggies. Took about 10 minutes. I'm just showing you what sort of size I'm talking about. Sort of like that. That's all going in the pot. I'll show you in a second what the pot is. So, about so big. And the veggies are all going to be done. And you'll see what I'm talking about. That is all the vegetables cut up. Parsnips, carrots, spring onions are down the bottom. Now in that, I'm going to put in some of my thyme that I dried, just a nice little dosing. And I'll see if I've got any sage. I'm not sure. Might have some sage. Cinnamon, maybe up here. Hold you up. No. Right, I've got no sage. I will put in some parsley. This is dried parsley. Seems like a lot, but it's certainly not going to be. And now what I'm going to do is I will start cooking the meat, then add the veggies, put a little bit of pepper, maybe a tiny bit of salt, and you'll see what the mix looks like when it's finished, after I finish cooking. Heat's on. I'll put a bit of oil in here. How much? I don't know, about that much. And we shall cook the pork for a little while, and then we will add the vegetables. So that is the pork and beef mix. It's like a bolognese mix. It'll take long to cook. What I am going to do is add a bit of seasoning to this, a bit of salt and pepper maybe. Not a lot of salt, but certainly a bit of pepper. Just turn that down a bit. You don't want it going too high. So we'll add some cracked pepper. Quite a bit of sea salt in there as well. Just a little bit. As you know, I don't like cooking a lot with salt. I don't mind adding it at the end when I want to eat it. Okay, so we're just going to cook this until we get a nice brown look about it. And we're going to add all those vegetables. Alright, let me get this down to a point where I'm going to add the veggies, then I'll show you. That's about 99% done, as you can see. A lot of the liquid that was in there has evaporated. The meat is 90% cooked, which is okay because it's going to cook for quite a while longer. Now you're going to add all these vegetables, which looks like a ton of veggies, and it is. What it is though, you've got about half meat and half veg. That's the combination that I use. I've always used that method. You can have less meat, but you shouldn't have too much veg, because you just end up with a vegetable pasty. If that's what you want, that's what you'll do, of course. Now at this stage, I am going to stick in, for the amount that I'm cooking, probably 3/4 cup of beef stock. Okay, and I'm also going to add another flavouring, which you know I always use, Worcestershire. How much? Tablespoon. Actually, nearly finished. So now it is finished. Now this will cook nicely for the next, I'll be honest, probably half an hour. And when that's all finished, I will show you. It's just a matter of keep mixing it, let it cook. You want the veggies to be al dente, nearly cooked. Not all the way cooked, because basically it's going in pastry and in the oven for another 15-20 minutes anyway. So we'll come back. About 5 minutes in, I'm just going to add a teaspoon of garlic because I want to. I should just mix that around, spread it out. It'll be another 15-20 minutes, but that's okay. No point rushing good food. Alright. Okay, we'll come back in about another 15 minutes and see where we're at. About 15 minutes, I've turned it a couple of times. There's still a little bit of that liquid stock in the bottom. People panic sometimes when I cook and they say, you don't have enough liquid. Well, there's tons of liquid in vegetables. So what I'm going to do now is I shall try a veggie, see what they're like. Maybe another 5 minutes. Then the mix will be done. Alright, I'm just about happy. I'll taste a big potato. 90% done, which is exactly where I want it. I'm going to turn it off. And if you have a quick look now, most of that moisture or stock that I was cooking is gone, most of it. Now I'm just going to let this sit there for probably hour and a half. Let it cool down, because you do not want to put hot mix into pastry because it'll go bleh. So we will leave this and I shall come back. Actually, what I'm going to do, we're going to my daughter's and she's got a new puppy. Makes two, another member to the family. So let's go and have a quick look at that while this is cooling down.
Make it stay. Look.
Hello, I'm your new neighbour.
She doesn't like that.
Get out of my bed.
Well, I don't know what she wants from him.
Yeah, come on. Honey. Hey. Honey.
He's tired.
Mix from earlier. It is now cold and yummy. Now what I'm going to do is cut out a circle of this square piece of puff pastry by just using one of my things to make an outline. Let me do that and I'll show you what it looks like. Alright, I've just cut around the pastry and this is what you end up with. I'll just leave the backing on for now. Certainly won't be cooking with it, it will burn. And I've got a little bit of egg wash here. Okay, so this is all I'm going to do here. Let's go around the edge and I'll be using the egg wash for on top. When I actually do put them in the oven, gives it a nice golden colour, which is what it's all about. Right, now we need to get some of this mixture out of the way. Okay, I'm going to put some of this mixture, and I'm not going to overfill it, but it's going to be quite a good size. This circle would be about 8 inches across, so it's not tiny by any means. You can see the mixture is all about the same size. It's about equal in vegetables as it is in meat, which is what I like. And you'll see I'm nearly finished. Maybe just a bit more. Well, I think that's enough. It's basically in the center. What I'm going to do now, I'll give you a better look, is I'm just going to pull the two sides together, like so, and I just pinch, right? Just pinch my way around, because I'm going to show you what I do when I end up either end. If you get a bit of the mixture start to come out, don't panic, okay, because you can just push it back in. Right, now you just take off this outer layer of plastic, and the reason I leave it on, it just helps you form it up, if you know what I mean. So now you've got, I don't know if you can see, you've got either end like this, okay. There's a couple of ways you can do it. You can keep pinching to make it a complete like semicircle, or you can just push in like I'm doing here and fold up. Okay, see what I've done there? Okay, and then we'll do the same the other side. Just push down and fold up, and then push down again. So what you end up with is that, okay? You can do a little bit more crimping if you like, if you think you need to do a bit more. You probably won't be able to see it that side, but what I'm doing is just folding it upon itself, and that just gives it a bit more of a firmer closure, if you like. Entirely up to you what you do that way. It's not that important, to be honest. It would stay sealed. Then all we do, and I'll be doing probably about 7 or 8 of these today, is give it a nice coat of that egg wash. Be generous. It will certainly just make it nice and brown. Okay, I'm going to do that to the rest of them, but before you bake, because that's now a steam parcel, just put a few little holes. Don't have to be that precise. That will do. And what I like to put on top, you don't have to do this, but I like a little bit of the Parmesan cheese. So we're talking just a sprinkle, nothing severe, something like that. All right, I'll do a few more of these. I'll put them in the oven and I'll show you what they look like when they're finished. In the oven, we'll come back in about 20-25 minutes. Right, I'm just taking them off the baking tray, and I just wanted to show you quickly. They're hot, but I'll show you quickly. That's what the bottom looks like. Okay. They are warm, so they're cooled down. I've got another 3 to cook. And after I finish them, we're going to have one, like I said, and we'll show you what it's like. I'm going to have a bit of tomato sauce in mine, because that's what I like. All right. Ready to eat. Yum. You can pick them up. So what I like to do is put a bit of sauce on the end. Is my way. I'm going to try it. That is good. That's what it looks like inside. So that is our dinner. And we've got plenty of spares. Let's see what the boss thinks.
Yum. I love pasties, especially homemade ones. And I have barbecue sauce.
Yeah. Yep, I think we got the approval. They're not that hard to make. I mean, you don't have to use puff pastry. You can use short crust if you like. I just happen to have puff pastry in the freezer. So that is my version of a pasty. I wouldn't say it's a Cornish pasty, a bit different, but it's a pasty all the same. So what I think is that if you have got an inclination that that might taste good, you just watch this video, give it a go. And all I can say is, if you happen, thank you for watching.